How's it going, boys? Johnny Superb Man here, and it's time for another NHL 15 shootout commentary. And I must say, I'm very happy. The hockey gods this year have done me proud. The Pittsburgh Penguins have been beat out, no longer in the Stanley Cup playoffs, beat out in 5 games, and you know what? That puts a smile on my face. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh Penguin fans, but when the Leafs are not in the playoffs, I cheer for the underdogs, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've been one of those teams that dominate during the regular season. But since they came off their back-to-back years where they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals and won a Stanley Cup in 08-09, they really have not done anything in the playoffs, right? So I want to get into this with you guys just because I don't want to say the word rebuild, all right? So if I accidentally pop that out, just know that I mean retool. I think a retool needs to happen there in Pittsburgh because listen to this. The year after they won the Stanley Cup, second round exit. After that, first round exit. After that, first round exit. After that, yes, they made it back to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they got swept by Boston. And the teams that they had to beat to get to the conference finals were Ottawa and the Islanders. It's a somewhat easy trip there. The second that they come up against a good team, Boston, they don't win a single game. Last year, a second-round exit, once being up 3-1 to New York, and this year, a first-round exit. So, since they won the Stanley Cup, there's been 3 first-round exits, 2 second-round exits, and a horrible third-round exit. They're just not a team that can produce in the playoffs anymore, so I want to see some changes there, all right? And Crosby, I mean, this guy, hang on a second, hang on, Loophole, oh, Crosby, I couldn't get around him, flying poke check. I was going to say, you can't necessarily blame Crosby, but only 4 points, right? I mean, we always talk about Crosby being the best player in the world. Look at other superstars. Guys like Taves, Tarasenko, Corey Perry, Tavares. These guys are really leading their teams, right? Now, hang on a second. Flying poke check! I'll do it right back on you, son. Theo Fleury doesn't fall for that shit. And that's one excuse that you Pittsburgh Penguin fans, you can't blame on this year. Marc-Andre Fleury did not play bad. Goals against of 2.12 and a save percentage of .927. Guys like Malkin, 0 points in 5 games played. What the hell happened to Gino this year? All right, Gino, we got to do something special here. You know what? I'll just calm down. Here we go, Gino. Just get some power behind it. Boom, baby, yeah! You got to just Malkin it into the net. That's kind of weird, though. I'll admit to you guys, I did not watch any of the, well, I don't want to say I didn't watch any of them, but I would always choose the Ottawa-Montreal game to watch, and it seemed like the Pittsburgh Penguins-Rangers series was a little bit less intensity, a little bit slower, you know what I mean? I think it's the Rangers style of gameplay. I know they're a fast team, but they're also a shutdown team, and, I mean, something that's really, hang on a second here, hang on, I'll talk about this in a second. What do you got for me? Backhand, get the hell out of here. I think the, one thing you got to look at from the Pittsburgh Penguins perspective is, against the New York Rangers, they are not good. Since going up 3-1 last year, there's been 7 games that they faced, the Rangers in, right? And they have, what, lost, oh, hang on a second, no, it was 9 games. Hang on a second, you know what it is? I'm thinking too much. Ugh! Yeah, they were down 3-1, the Rangers came back to win in 7 games, right? So there was 3 straight, and then this year they won in 5 games. So yeah, in the last, what, 8 games, they're 7-1 in the playoffs against the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the New York Rangers. Pittsburgh could not just deal with them, man. And that's what I think. It's like, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they may be a good regular season team, but the last few times they've gone up against tough teams in the playoffs, Boston or New York, they lose. When was the last really good team the Pittsburgh Penguins beat in the playoffs? I'm not talking about Columbus. I'm not talking about Ottawa or the Islanders, right? When have they really put out a good team? Interesting, man. Go back and look at it. All right, right-handed shot. Let's do a Gordie Howe. I'm talking too much. I'm not focusing. Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby. Perron, baby! Oh, he just drags it through. And there's another player, just like Daniel Winnick, who was a -6. Perron, you traded away a first-rounder for. What did he do for you this year? I mean, Jesus, if you guys missed the playoffs, Edmonton, even though they got McDavid, they would have had another amazing first-round pick, right? And now that you guys got kicked out in the first round, that pick is like 20th or 18th or 19th or something like that. Like, it's a good pick for Edmonton. What the hell happened in Pittsburgh this year? No. He got me. He outweighted me, that little bastard. I thought he was going to go back to the backhand. Oh, that was slick. That was slick, Rick. All right. You know what, though? You get a goal. It sets up the superb man shot for me. I'll talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins a little bit afterwards, all right? Let's see, boys, if we can end this. Patrick Hornqvist, he had 3 points. Not bad. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's lagging. Oh, man. Oh, man. If it's lagging this much, this is not going to work. Oh, man. Oh. Oh man, you know what? If I just got the right angle there, because he was a little bit out of the net, I couldn't hit it, boys. I'm sorry. I'm not good. That's all right. Joe Colburn coming down. I'm going to get the Calgary Flames out, just like in real life. Oh! And don't worry, I know in real life you Calgary Flame fans are off to the second round, which is great, but I don't know. Once you come up against the Anaheim Ducks, it could be a different story, right? But we're talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Penguin fans, I want to know, what do you guys think you need to do here? I don't want to say rebuild, because you still have some fantastic talent on that team, like Crosby, Malkin, Marc-Andre Fleury is still a starting goaltender, right? Chris Letang, but it just seems like when you come up against the best of the best in the NHL, and that's what the Pittsburgh Penguins are striving to be, one of the best. It seems like when you come up against one of those teams, you get just outed in easy fashion. Yes, last year you had the Rangers on the ropes, but as soon as you had them on the ropes, you had no killer mentality to be able to get them out of the playoffs, right? This year, you barely make it into the playoffs, and that's one of those stats you got to look at. Every year, teams that come into the playoffs not on fire, losing some games, I mean, they're a candidate for a first-round exit. And Pittsburgh, they didn't do anything this year. They didn't do anything. The Rangers beat them. So, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, what do you guys have to do in the offseason? Do you come back with the same roster again next year and be a good regular season team that once you get into the playoffs, lose against up-and-coming teams? Because there are younger Eastern Conference teams that are going to be beating the Pittsburgh Penguins soon, like the Islanders, all right? Maybe even Washington this year. So, I don't know. I think of a guy like, I don't think Crosby's going anywhere, but could it be a year or maybe next year that Evgeny Malkin is traded away, you know? Trade away Malkin for some depth, for maybe a young center, but also some wingers and some defensemen. I don't even know what you guys would do. So, Pittsburgh Penguin fans, I want to know, what do you think you need to do to improve your team for next year? Because a first-round exit with those studs on the team is an absolutely disappointing year. And since you've won the Stanley Cup, you've had 3 first-round exits, all right? So, it's just not getting it done in the playoffs. So, I want to know, what do you guys think you need to do? And I will see you guys in the next one.